it seems like we're starting to get a spin up in some of these little indie games, and we're getting closer to some of the big projects. But then a dead project or seemingly dead project has been resurrected with like a $10 million investment, and that's Splitgate.
This is a crazy story.
They're coming
This
out
is
with
really cool,
right? They're coming out with ranked modes. They're like investing in the game. Sure.
I'm going to interrupt. I'm sorry, but we should explain
good.
what Splitgate is.
Sure.
So
Splitgate is an arena shooter.
Yeah.
That's based really off of it's almost exclusively inspired by the original like Halo 3
Quake
especially arena.
Well, I thought.
And Quake, yeah, there's a lot of influence there. It sort of takes that same vibe. Movement is very much similar. Movement speed's very similar to those original arena shooters. The only difference is that you can create these portals that you can move through, and it kind of helps you move around the map, get the drop on people. It's a pretty cool concept, and it was kind of accepted well when it launched, like the first
2 years ago,
the alpha.
2 years ago, right?
Was it the alpha that was 2 years ago?
I first started hearing about this game 2 years ago, and I remember it was like people thought it was a cool idea. It's like people who were fans of like Quake and stuff like that. It was like pure arena shooters. We're into it, but it was very niche. It was very, very niche.
And I wonder,
and then,
like with a game like that, sometimes they just don't pop off because not enough streamers pop off, or like not enough people give it a shot.
They're just of factors.
It looks cool, but I'll see what everyone else says. But then everyone does that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, Volkers had been playing Splitgate since it was new, so maybe tell us, because I don't know exactly the catalyst, but something happened where this game went from like niche, almost, you know what it is, almost like Among Us. It was niche, a few people were playing it, it wasn't necessarily dead, but it wasn't alive either, and then suddenly it just started to blow up.
Well, weren't there some sponsored streams? Like that
could have been.
There were like some sponsored streams that were popping off, they got a lot of viewers, and then next thing you know, their player population was, what did they reach? Was it a quarter of a million? Was it a quarter of a million players one day? I don't know exactly. I don't take that to the bank. But it did well enough that an investor was like, okay.
Oh, someone's saying... Oh, okay. So you know what it was? Is because they announced it was coming to console. So all the console people jumped on board as well, and it went free to play. So was it not free to play? And then it went free to play? That's huge, obviously. Yeah. So it goes on console, and obviously you also definitely do have some, I guarantee there was like some streamer influence. Like there was a day a big streamer played Splitgate, and then some like medium-sized streamers saw that big streamer, and then they started to play Splitgate. And so you really do have like a snowball effect.
Yeah,
it's like
look at this. In May 2019, when they launched, they had an average player base of around 4,500, and so there's going to be a little bit of spike on some of the days, but then it dropped down to like 500, and it's been like 100 to 200 average players per month, right?
Yeah.
But in the last 30 days, it's averaging 2,600 players. However, it broke the concurrent player base record by a long shot, getting 32,000 concurrent players at one point. For a couple hours, it dropped down to 10,000, 11,000, back up to 28,000. So, from this announcement and people streaming it and playing it.
I'm sorry, maybe I saw 25K and thought 250K. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it could have been. It could have been that. But like
100 to 25K concurrent is insane.
Yeah, you've like 250 times your player base.
That's insane.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Long story short, an investor was impressed, said, "We'll give you $10 million."
It wasn't just that. So it was an important part of the story is that this success had a downside. The servers crashed. Like they could not handle it, right? So they're having huge server issues, and so they actually tweeted out like, we went out, like we've secured $10 million in funding, and we're going to reinvest into the game, obviously improve the server architecture, all this stuff. So yeah, that's a wild story that there was like 100 players playing this for 2 years basically, and then they come to console and it's free to play. And again, I guarantee you had a few streamers hop on board. Maybe they shelled out just enough money to get a couple streamers on board, and then those streamers like obviously legitimately had fun, right? And then it's just the floodgates open, right?
You know what's too bad though is like if only this happened like 5 months ago or 6 months ago got people hooked, because literally like this weekend people are getting their codes for the Halo Infinite like alpha or like beta, and so it's is that just gonna take all the wind out of the sails? Maybe it doesn't. Maybe people despise Infinite. I don't know, but it's just like the timing of it is a little rough
timing. I mean, better now than when Halo Infinite actually releases, you know. So
yeah, fair.
But it's just like another story, and it's like the same thing happened to Among Us, where it's like just small player base, and then blows up, and then the developer's like, oh, what? It's kind of weird. Like, you'd almost expect it to blow up close to its launch, but nope. Like, it's just a, and it's funny. Like, but it's funny. Like, both Splitgate and Among Us, you could have called dead games. Like, I'm sure there's like people who are enjoying Splitgate when there was like 100 concurrent players. And they were like trying to tell their friends, like, bro, you gotta try Splitgate.
Telling you.
And he's like, dude, that's a freaking dead game. Literally, nobody cares about this game. And then now it's like the hottest new thing. Yeah. It's just funny. Like, you can never count these games out, man. Like, sometimes it just like takes time for people to like realize a game is good.
You need the right climate when you put your product out there, no doubt. We've seen that so many times. Like, how many games have just died because the climate was not good? Like, Titanfall 2 even had that problem. Incredible game. Like, one of the best PvP shooters with an incredible campaign of
released between Battlefield 1 and Call of Duty. Like, it was like here. It was like,
that's right. Let's put it right between two giants, and it tanked. It tanked.
I still cry.
Even though it was incredible.
I still cry about Battleborn. And you're probably like, what's Battleborn? Exactly.
Did you and I play that together?
Yes. Yeah.
Like, I think.
And Data was there one time, and Fruit.
I played with you guys a couple games, I swear.
Yeah, and like that game, it was like more of a MOBA than Overwatch. Like, there was like an economy. You would kill enemies, do different objectives. You could upgrade your artifacts. You could level up your character. And like
open maps.
Yeah, there was like a whole economy to the game, and it was kind of like Overwatch, like a hero shooter, lots of abilities. But then it had that macro game, the long term. It's like, okay, I'm not going to fight. I'm not going to defend this point, but I'm going to farm minions, and I'm going to be stronger than you later. And I loved it. Yeah. I truly thought it had so much potential, but it came out like the day after Overwatch or something. Like, it was just a terrible time to release it. One of the biggest competitors.
No, I remember this because I enjoyed it too. When it released, I think the same time it released, the Overwatch beta free for everyone.
That's what it was.
Went live and killed it.
Yeah,
it was just like how sad. They should have delayed the launch, or honestly, they should have launched it sooner, like a week sooner. That would have like maybe even saved the game, because a lot of people thought it was like really a fun game, but it came out the same time in the beta, and then no one cared about Battleborn. Everyone was full bore on Overwatch, right? Yeah. It was a really unfortunate thing. But that game, it never got the player base. It died. They shut down the servers recently, actually.